Man, what a semester it has been. From the beginning to the end, I have had an amazing time learning and growing with the people around me and hearing what they have to say. This class in particular has taught me a lot. From the me bag speeches all the way to the persuasive speeches, it has been one absolute wild ride. Um, in the beginning, when we were working on speaking skills, I really had a hard time getting my message across solely because I was just extremely nervous and I wasn't really comfortable. So I knew from the beginning that is something that I wanted to work on when I was public speaking, and I wanted to try and improve that throughout the semester. Um, it wasn't that I wasn't it wasn't that I was unprepared because I was actually very prepared. I knew what I wanted to say. It's just when the nerves get the best of you, I had a really hard time trying to portray my words out and talking to people. And also, one of the things I was judged on or critiqued on earlier on the semester was not being very fluent. Like I said, it's not being unprepared. It's really hard for me to express myself when I'm nervous. So, but as it went on, I made giant strides, um, like from speech to speech to speech. I think my Gigantopithecus speech was one of the biggest ones. I still get compliments on how outgoing I was during it, and yeah, it was something I really enjoyed doing. Um, Also, talking about the Gigantopithecus speech, that was the first time I used visual aid. It made things go a lot smoother whenever I would freeze or something like that. It helped the visual aid took eyes off of me and put the eyes on the screen or to whatever I was showing them. Um, and it's always fun to, implement some jokes along with the screen, maybe a funny photo or just a little one-liner joke, something like that, to keep them interested. Like I said, you don't want to put too many jokes in because you want them to know that you're being serious about what you're talking about. But I think just the right amount to keep them engaged into your speech is also really important. Um, and also, the visual aid really helped me express how magnificent the Gigantopithecus was into comparison to the average day human. I don't think that I could have achieved that without the visual aid, and I think the class thought that also. The Gigantopithecus was truly an amazing creature, and I had to have a visual aid. If I could have changed one thing about it, I would have brought in kind of like a life-size thing, not like a life-size Gigantopithecus, but like maybe a tape measure or something like that, so I could compare people in the class to the size of the Gigantopithecus and kind of help them gauge the size of this magnificent beast. Um, See, when talking about Gigantopithecus, I knew it was something that I liked, and I figured that is something cool, and I thought the audience would like it also. And it's also really important to understand who you're talking to and understanding your audience. This semester, our book mostly focused on audience centered speaking, which is really good because most of the time you're just talking to a singular person, in which audience centered speaking taught you how to like speak to a crowd of people. For me in particular, that helps out a lot because I'm going into law enforcement. So if I want to talk to media outlets or I have to talk to a family or stuff like that, it's important for me to feel comfortable around different amounts of people throughout various situations. Um, Also, it's very important to understand your audience due to the fact, like if you're telling jokes, like in my situation, you don't want to offend anybody because that could really tear apart your speech. You want them to understand your message and kind of roll with it and not be offended by it. Um, and also, when understanding your audience, you don't want to speak too highly, and also you don't want to speak too lowly. So if I'm talking to a bunch of my peers who are in college, I'm not going to speak to them as if I'm talking to maybe a third grade classroom. I want to speak on the same level as them so they can get the most out of my speech and I can give them the most information that is possible. And throughout this semester, it's really helped me work on my listening skills. As you know, our class was filled with many different levels of speakers, from maybe not so good to really highly experienced speakers. And also, Watching them speak and the way that they would put their speeches together helped me critique myself. And in that, I also grew as a presenter, and it really helped me kind of form my lectures and stuff like that around it. Also, we were required to take a or attend a professional lecture, and that was really helpful to me. It helped me see what they were doing and how impactful they were, and how I can use their skills and kind of make it my own and put it into my speeches. And even though most of the time I might not agree with what my peers have to say, it's still important. Like, it's important that I put my views aside for a second to see what they are saying and what they are doing. And throughout this semester, I've really improved on that because um, we all come from different backgrounds and different levels of speaking, and it's really crucial that I understand where they're coming from and not just my own bias. So yeah, that was something that this semester really helped me out with. And finally, the small groups portion of this class was truly amazing. It was crucial the last couple of weeks. It was cool to see like the different viewpoints on what people thought about certain things and what I thought about it. And then it was also interesting hearing them explain their reasoning to why they think about that, and not just me in my own mind. Like, small groups helped avoid tunnel vision. So if you're constantly thinking about one thing, a new idea may come in from one of your peers, and it's really important that you get that. Um, I think it was really cool how we used it in the elevator speech. In my group alone, with my peers, I was kind of stuck, and I wasn't really putting forth like my best foot forward. And they would come in and they were getting excited with me. They were engaged, and they're throwing out ideas, catchphrases, things I could say next, and it really helped me put the exclamation point on my speech. And I think that's what really turned the tide for me and made my elevator speech really effective. And of course, I had to return the favor by being engaged with them, trying to help them out, trying to improve their speeches, and it was kind of like a back and forth thing. So that's why I think small groups are really important and should be enforced when public speaking. Um, in this class, I have learned a lot more than I would have ended up than I thought I would have. It helped me prepare for all the future applications in which public speaking is used, especially in my future, in my career, and what I want to do. Definitely, the next time I speak, I will look back to this class and I will use all the important skills that I have learned and all the important people that I've came in connection with. Thank you.